in the drama field. In the drama field, there's been some developments. Some would even say that they're shocking. Shocking developments in the world of dramatization. That's right, folks. We're talking about Vaush and Kyle Kulinski. That's right. They had a conversation. I don't know why Kyle doesn't come on my show. That's weird, right? What do I got to do to get Kyle Kulinski on my show? That's what I'm wondering. But you know, everyone, this is where it starts. You got to send the emails, send the tweets, get this motherfucker on my show. I'd love to pick his brain. But anyway, so my fellow seltzer drinking ski went on Vaush's stream, and they had a conversation about Jimothy Dore. And it's very enlightening, and I think this is very fun to watch. So I want to watch this, and I want to react in real time. So we have a 2-minute clip. Let's go in.
Jimmy's politics. So what I've seen is there was a time when he would mostly criticize Democrats, and you got the sense it was from the left, and it was to improve them. Then, you know, over time, it slowly creeped up from like, okay, 70% of your commentary is going after the Democrats, 30% is going after the Republicans. Now it's like 80-20. Now it's like 90-10. And then it got to like 100% of the commentary is just like Democrats are bad. Now, if you have a platform, you have to realize, even if you think it's like, well, duh, the Republicans are bad, there might be some 14-year-old coming to your channel who doesn't think that's a duh, and all they see is you shitting on Democrats. And then you're sort of painting a
now again, my thing is like, I don't care about the 14-year-old, right? Like, that's my thing. But I love how Kyle's doing a, oh, think of the children argument. I find that fascinating because he's not usually that kind of guy that would be like, oh, think of the children, you know? And so, but, you know, I think of the children. Like, what if a 14-year-old watches Jimmy Dore? I mean, that in and of itself, irrespective of what commentary Jimmy's giving, a 14-year-old watching Jimmy Dore, that's going to be one fucked up 14-year-old. But let's continue.
Misleading picture of the world. And then when it really got to a point where it was like, this is just sad now, is when the vaccine skepticism stuff started happening. That's when
So I gotta be honest, I still watch Secular Talk every once in a while when I got nothing to do. I know people, you know, just bear with me here. And I'm very, like, impressed by how no nonsense he is on vaccines. I do appreciate that. I feel like for whatever reason, like, people in left-wing YouTube media are afraid to talk about it in that kind of no-nonsense way. So I do appreciate Kyle's attitude on vaccination. Again, he agrees with me in that instance where if you don't get vaccinated, you're a fucking moron. And people that are pushing this vaccine skepticism is fucking stupid. But then Kyle's going to talk about when Jimmy was caught basically covering things up and lying and altering news articles. Now, again, personally, I don't think he has a producer. I want to throw that out there. I think Jimmy doesn't have a producer. I think it's like it was his wife or one of his friends or whatever. They sent him that. He doesn't read the article. That's true either way. He doesn't read the article. He doesn't know what the article was trying to say. Right, that I think is really funny as well. But I also don't think he has a producer. But anyway, let's keep going.
I saw the things on Twitter where it was like, here's his most recent however many videos, and like 60% of them or some shit were just like doubting the vaccine. And when I saw that, I was like, well, it's a good thing that all my ties are severed with everybody.
Can we talk about this real quick? And this is off topic. But for those of you that have seen Kyle Kulinski's like home office set, what is this thing where he's got the map of the world behind him? Like, I'm sorry, man, but that is like he's had that for like 5 years or something. I've watched this guy for a while, right? I never understood the map of the world. Like, you're going to have one thing prominently displayed on your show behind you, right? And it's a map of the world. Like, what is that? Like, is that like, oh, like every time I'm like sitting in my office, like pondering the depths of foreign policy and, you know, geopolitics, I always spin my chair around and study the map of the world. Like I'm sorry, I'm off topic here. But the map of the world in the background is something I will never find it to be not fascinating, because it is fascinating.
Buddy, because I do not want to be associated with that in any way, shape, or form. One of the things that is just inescapable is the shit that Sean caught Jimmy doing And I will say this. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe you're right about how I'm like too kind in how I read people. But when I saw that, I was like, I cannot believe that Jimmy did this shit. No matter what interpretation you want to give of the situation, either, the idea that he himself, was the one who spliced up the article to change the literal meaning to the opposite of what it was, whether he did that or you believe the kinder interpretation that his producer did that and he just didn't read through the article and he goes out there and whichever interpretation you believe, either fucking way, totally inexcusable. Completely inexcusable. There's just not even remotely a good argument for anti-vax shit. And so my tolerance for that is so thin. And so when I saw that thing, the Sean thing, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. You want to talk about you lost the plot. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So anyway, Kyle Kulinski, folks, has finally jumped off of the fucking train. God damn. I remember when, do you remember when he released this, 2-hour-long epic or something? Where he was talking about, the Jimmy Dore TYT fiasco. And he was, bending over backwards to not make Jimmy Dore upset. But then he slightly criticized one thing he did. And then Jimmy made a video trashing Kyle. Do you remember that? The Kyle's a cuck saga. I think Kyle is trying to, I think he realizes where the tides are going way later than he should have, right? My God, right? Is it December 2nd, 2020? Or no, it's actually December 2nd, 2021, right? If he would have done this exact clip 1 year ago, that would have been, all right, Kyle, it's a good timing, right? Because that's when a lot of people, including myself, were starting to, really take notice of how fucking deranged Jimmy Dore was going. But again, a year late, all right. But again, this saga actually continues. It's a saga that continues, and I wanted to talk about how the saga continues, because it's a saga that continues, and it's great. So Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks saw this clip and wanted to weigh in. And so this to me is just, it's just entertainment. This is just entertainment. It's entertaining. It's fun to watch. There's no and here's my complex analysis of the world. I don't have any of that. This is just fun. This is fun for you. This is fun for me. So let's engage. Okay. Kyle also just figured out that there's no Santa Claus. Yo, I'm done. Already off the bat, that's good. I didn't know he was this dense, and then it would take him years to figure out the obvious. Now again, Cenk and Kyle co-founded Justice Democrats, right? These are people that are friends. These are friends. And I really do hope that Kyle can, fix that behind the scenes. But again, let's keep going. This is great. I'm waiting for everyone who equated this low-life grifter, Dore, to us and equivocated about us, who was right to offer their apologies. Now again, Kyle did this grand hour-and-a-half or something long epic. It's an epic. It's a feature-length film that he posted on his YouTube channel, where he was trying to say that Jimmy Dore and TYT are both equally silly or something, and that, Jimmy's not that bad or whatever. Again, he uploaded a feature-length film. I reviewed it on my channel. Go watch. But it gets even better. So some guy on Twitter, Blarney Cereal, asks, why so mean to Kyle? All right, you don't pay attention to these things too often. You need the lore. You need the backstory. So that makes sense. So Cenk gives us some backstory. Cenk says, the dumbass, that's Kyle, apologized to Jimmy in the middle of the original controversy because Jimmy didn't feel like Kyle had sufficiently kissed his ass. Kyle was so wrong. He thought we were the bad guys. Inexcusable. And we never got an apology once he pulled his head out of his ass. Whoa. So again, I enjoy watching this, but at the end of the day, what my takeaway is Kyle is obviously, he found himself in a really shitty situation to his own perspective, right? and he probably panicked and he probably didn't know what to do. Like, if this is one of those things where it's not a public controversy, no one cares, right? You wouldn't have that kind of pressure. But, like, again, when you're in public, you know that there's a certain percentage of your audience that are Jimmy, Dumbo, Dore people. And again, who knows how many people Kyle's going to lose from his audience from this, right? This is going to have a, you know, again, people are going to see this and they're going to unsubscribe from Kyle, and he's known that. And he feels like he's in this position where he wants to be friends with everybody, and he's like socially anxious and he doesn't know what to do. So his best plan is to do nothing. I feel it. You know, it happens. And so, but like, again, we're in this position where it's like, it's in public, you know, and it's like, it's hard to do that in public. And then especially like, again, you know, when someone's sexually harassing your other supposed friend and you're sitting in the middle going like, I don't know. Like, Cenk and Anna have a right to be upset at him. And I hope they figure it out. I hope they fix it. Because I think that's just best for everyone in the end. But again, Cenk's comments on this were really fucking funny. And so I wanted to go into that because again, it's, can you believe it? Like, Force the Vote was a year ago? Folks, Force the Vote was a year ago. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the fact that Force the Vote was a fucking year ago? My God.
Force the Vote, sure, was a failure.
Lord have mercy.